Okay, I don't even know what is happening with that fantastic thing. Who knows? Hey, everybody, it's Cheryl. Welcome back to Muppin Sewing Emporium. We are live to you through the power of the internet here in beautiful downtown Paducah, Kentucky. I am Cheryl, your host, and I am very excited to be back. Woohoo! Yay! We are back from our break. You probably are thinking, Cheryl, where in the heck have you been? My friends, it has been an adventure. um we have got a lot of stuff to show you, so I am very excited. As always, everything that you see on the show is available from our website. And yeah, I mean, like, that is exactly how it's going today. Tech issues all aside, let me just double check that it's all working and we have sound and all of that stuff. Does look like we do. We have sound, we have internet, we have the whole thing. I'm excited. It's Friday, my friends. I don't know about you, but it's been like a long couple of weeks. The reason we weren't here last week is we had a we're buying a new car. So that was like, if anyone here has ever bought a new car, you know what a hassle it is to buy a new car. Charlotte, thank you so much. Hello to you. If you're out there and you can hear me, give me a thumbs up, give me a like, a heart, or whatever it is. You can always comment, tell me where you are watching from. As always, we are again live to you through the power of new internet, and we're here in Paducah, Kentucky. Yeah, so we have new stuff that came in, and I am rather excited about it. But I have new and I have old stuff too. So we have a lot of things to talk about, and we're going to talk about cotton. So we're going to talk about that. I'm in my fall dark witch phase, and I when I put the hair dye on, I was like, "Ooh, this one's going to turn out dark," and I'm kind of in love with it. So, there you go. We have in the store the cutest new stuff, and I'm so ready to show it to you because it's super adorable. All right, so I'm gonna bring this over here, and let's get it all lined up, shall we? Is this all not gonna work today? I have had nothing but tech issues all day. It's like tech gremlins all day today. All right, so our first item is a panel, and this is a bigger panel book than we normally carry. Normally they're more like probably the same size as this page, the inset. So this one's got like a little more room on it. It's got a little more cushion on it. And is this not the cutest? It's Skipper's Snow Day. So this is a book that is all about Skipper and getting ready and having a snow day. And these are just the cutest little photos that are reproduced onto fabric. It's a panel, which you know that we love panels. the day that we ordered this, now we ordered this back in, gosh, how long ago now? I want to say February or March. And this little panel, um, there's a whole series uh, of squirrel fabric. We didn't buy all the fabric. We just bought the panel because look at that little guy. He's so cute. Um, Makes a really, really, really quick, easy gift for a little person that you might know, a little friend. These are all photos by Nancy Rose. If you're not familiar with her, she is very famous for taking pictures of Skipper, who is a very tame squirrel. And so, just adorable. I think this is very sweet. I think you're really going to like it. So I am going to just double check that my sound is working. Yes, it is. And it does look like we are I just double checked that we're working and like the internet is doing its thing. So, yep, we are. That's awesome. Hooray. Okay, so we have Skipper Snow Day, very cute little book. I think this is a good one. This is going to be in the panels section of the website. Okay, so you're going to look for this one in the panels section. Oh, yay. Good. Thank you, Miss Charlotte. I do appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. So next up are two bundles of fabric that we just got in, and we also have matching charm packs to go with these. And I haven't yet gone through this stack, and I've been itching to. Okay, so this is a product called Mushroom Blooms, and this is by a fabric company called Poppy Cotton. So Poppy Cotton, if you haven't heard of them, it's a duo. There are two folks, two ladies that run it, and this is a 21 fat quarters in this bundle. Excuse me. And I haven't gone through the fabrics other than the ones that I've shown on in the online picture, but I wanted to show these because they're just so cute. Okay, so you can see the color palette here. We've got some like yellows and mustard, we've got pinks and corals, and teal greens. Okay, so this first one is these little mushroom people. Now, before you're like, Cheryl, I don't get the mushroom people. Okay, let me just say, if you are a fan of Disney movies and Fantasia, that's exactly what reminded me about this. This reminds me of the little mushrooms that dance in the movie Fantasia. Okay, so that to me is what this reminds me of, the little dancing mushrooms. You see the little faces, they've got like hairstyles and little outfits, and they're just stinking cute. And then you've got a really, really pretty dot. And this is the other thing, is these really super precious florals. Okay, so some really, really gorgeous florals in here. We've got one that kind of has like an almost retro feel. Okay, here's the floral in a larger, so it's the same floral as the miniature, but it's just denser and larger. And then there's these little stitchy pinstripes, and I love these. These are gorgeous, these little stitchy pinstripes. And then in this golden color, we've got just the mushrooms themselves. So If you're not familiar yet with a term called cottage core, this is very, very cottage core. So if you're like millennials and younger, there's this trend for things that are called cottage core. Um, so, what quilt pattern would you recommend for a fat quarter pack? Well, there are a lot of fabric patterns out there for fat quarter friendly patterns, and this one has um 21 in the pack. So I would look for patterns that have like, you know, uh 20 fat quarters or whatever in the description. So so again, here's the little mushroom people again. Just look at their little outfits. They're just so cute. Okay, so we've got this one, then we get into the deeper colors. We've got the coral pink, this coral pink peach. It's like more of a pink than anything. And then you've got this sort of retro print again. Here it is. This is ultimate cottage core colors, these sort of soft pinks. And then like little bits of brown are also very cottage core. It's just an aesthetic that if you were to put it into Instagram, you would get some of these like very like country style living meets like Sleeping Beauty and all these other things. It's what they call cottage core. So you get sort of that feeling here, like pinks and browns and oranges and the like. Just mushrooms are kind of a big deal in the cottage core aesthetic. So again, we've got like the little people with the outfits, and there's like these little pops of red, which is really also kind of sweet throughout this. There isn't a fabric that's red, but it's got the little pop of red. So this would be a color that you could add to this with like a cream color background and maybe a red binding. That would be really adorable. So again, here's the print with the polka dots, and you're going to kind of be able to pull from any of these to really work well with this collection. It is a very, very sweet collection. It's just got a lot of charm. And if you haven't been able to tell, it's this time of year that we get anything spring. I know. Like the last thing we're thinking about in the beginning of fall is anything that has to do with spring. Well, guess what? That's the mode that the fabric industry is in and shipping right now is spring. So, hooray. But this one I think you'll like. Again, this is just a really super adorable collection that's got a lot of just really kind of sweet, yummy colors to it. And I am like uh really dried out today. I'm trying not to be so dried out. Ooh, I tell you. All right, so we're gonna put the string back on this one. But this one is by Poppy Cotton, and um they're a fairly new fabric company. They've been around a while. So don't think like, oh gosh, um they're not new. They're new, but they're not that new. Um and I love these fabrics. So if you're thinking like, hey, all of those fat quarters seem like a lot, right? Because this fat quarter collection is 74. Um, but we do also have this in a charm pack. And you can see here in the charm pack the same fabrics. Okay, so if you wanted to get the little swatch of each one, that's one way, or you can get the big bulk color brick, as I like to call them, the poppy cotton thing. Joy is here. Thank you, Joy. Welcome. I'm glad to see you. I know I have been gone, my friends. I know. It's been a rough few weeks uh in our household. Just to give you a group a big update. We had what didn't we have? Charlie cracked a tooth and we had to fix that. Then I got sick and that was fun, but not fun. And it was hard to do video when you're not feeling well. Then my cat passed away and that turned into a whole thing I didn't expect. I had my little cat baby for 18 years and then we had to buy a car. So it's been kind of like chaos over here, but that's what's been going on. So Charlotte, I will save you a charm pack. You have something in mind already. These are just so sweet. Oh, thank you, Joy. Thank you. I do appreciate that. It's been a lot. I know I have been away. I know you have missed me. But it's Friday and I'm back. So so we do have these poppy cottons in fat quarters, and we have them in the charm pack. So now is a great time to get these because this is limited. Here's the thing about the fabrics in the world right now. Okay, you're going to hear this from me and you're not going to hear this from a lot of people. The amount of fabric being produced is going to, let's just say, it's not going to be as high. I'm not saying that they're not making fabric. They're absolutely making fabric. But what they're not doing is making a lot of extra fabric. So when I place my order for fabric, that's all I'm going to get. And if I don't order more at the time it's offered, I cannot go back and go, hey, give me more of these. These sold well. They are not doing it like that. If you see it and you love it, you need to buy it because it will not come back around. They are not really doing a lot of reprints. Okay, reprints are going to get a lot harder because the threshold for buying them is going up. Okay, so if you see fabric that you love, you need to get it. Which is why when I bring it up and I show it to y'all, you gotta jump on it. Okay, because this isn't available for me to go get anymore. So if I want you to bring you more, I cannot. I have to guesstimate how many I think I can sell and bring that to you. Okay, so that's how it is. And as you know, and I am hearing this a lot, that fabric stores are closing. There are fabric stores that, of course, are being affected by the hurricanes and natural disasters and all those things. And that is on top of the hard life and job of being a fabric store, on top of natural disasters and all the things. So my heart goes out to them. And we are good friends with folks who are in North Carolina that are affected by Hurricane Helene. And we have friends in Florida, shop owners in Florida that we are friends with that are being affected by Milton. And so, you know, of course, when they're back on their feet, we want them to give them a lot of love. And that is this, but they're going through the same thing we are. When the fabric comes in, that's all they're going to get. Oh my gosh, thank you, Mary. So I am living in my dark witch phase. This is dark uh fall Cheryl. And so kind of going for that. And of course, being cooler weather means I get to bring out all the fall outfits, which this is one of my favorite tops. So I'm just saying it's a good thing. Thank you for that. And like I said, these fabrics, um, they we don't get a second crack at them. Okay, so when I worked in the comic book industry, one of the things that happened a lot was we took pre-orders for the comic books, and then the comic book companies went and placed the order for how many they were going to print. And then all of a sudden, everybody and their brother wants one, but there was this limited amount. That is what you're looking at. Okay. It's like, hey, we printed that stuff and we got to move on to the next, season. They're not going to go back and print a lot of these spring collections. And I will say that spring collections are probably the least ordered products in the market because everybody wants holiday, everybody wants Halloween. So they don't do a lot of reprinting. But let me just show you this one more time. We've got these Poppy Cotton. This is the name of the company. We have this bundle here, which is it's very cottage core, as I was saying. It's got all these beautiful colors. This camera is shaking. It's got all these kind of tealy, pinky, peachy colors, very cottage core, and we have it in the big fat quarter bundle, or we have them, and look at the little mushroom people. Okay, and again, if you're like me, you're into Fantasia and the little mushroom scene with the fairies and the thing. This is it, my friends. It's little mushroom people and fairies and cute stuff. Okay, so that's what we've got here for this next collection that we just got in. And I mean, it is brand spanking new, other than the squirrel. Okay, don't forget Mr. Skipper. Okay, Skipper Snow Day. It's a little soft book. You got to get this one. It's super cute. Is these not quite reproduction 1930s. Okay, like I told you, spring is here. This is all spring stuff. They are trying to get you in the spring mood, and I guess spring equals 1930s fabrics. I don't know. This is Riley Blake, designer, and we're gonna crack this baby open. And this one is called Playtime 30s, and we're just gonna slide it off because I'll put the ribbon on later. This is a 30s collection. Okay, here's the brick. This is a yummy one. Okay, if you like those 30s soft pastel-y sort of retro vibe, you are in luck. This is your collection. It is, but these are not actual 30s prints. These are they're 30s esque. They're 30s like. So these were actually designed by a modern designer, Lindsay Wilkes, called of the Cottage Mama. And she's the designer. Okay, it says right here, Playtime 30s, Lindsay Wilkes of Cottage Mama. And as you can see, they have sort of that like sort of children's nursery retro vibe. Vintage adjacent, yes. Vintage adjacent. I mean, they absolutely have vintage appeal. Okay, they're definitely retro inspired. And so we've got the little teddy bears, which are only in a couple of these prints because the rest of them do not have they're not heavy on the animals. Now I do have a previous collection that came in a year ago that was very heavy on the animals. These are not. They are adorable and they're very like they have that retro feel, but in a way they're also kind of modern. Okay, they've got a nice modern sensibility to it. As you can see, it's kind of got that lovely sort of calico-esque look to it, but then you go into like the little toy beach balls, okay? And then OMG, the little duckies. The little duckies. You had me at the duckies. See, and they have a very similar palette, right, to these peachy pinkies. I'm telling you, when these color palettes come through, it's almost like when we're choosing fabrics, we're like, we've seen it, we've seen it, we've seen it, we've seen it. And it's because we see stuff like this, right? Because again, look at that. They go together really well. And so then you get into like the green colorways here. You're going to start to see that repeat of the teddy bears, okay? And the same, you've got the blocks, you've got the flowers, and this one kind of goes into the blues a little bit, so you can kind of see those beach balls. They definitely have like small calico, very adorable stuff. So if you love those soft vintage quilts that, when you quilt them to death and then you wash them and they just get so comfy, they look comfy. That's these kinds of fabrics, okay? It comes from that nostalgia. This is the blues section here. You kind of go into these sort of darker shades with there's again the little teddy bear, but then you get the same colors. You get the blocks, the beach balls, the floral calico, oh, and then the ducks. I mean, how can you not resist those little ducks? Okay, so then and then you get into the softer blues, and I mean, they're all just so yummy. So this particular brick, there's 30 pieces in this one. There's 30 pieces. It's a lot. Oh, look at that white. And it's got that white on white. So that's that sheen from the white print on there. That's pretty cool. And then you've got, the softer whites, the calicos, and then that beach ball, which on the bottom, this one's on the bottom, and I was like, it's got all the colors in the white beach ball. So I thought that was pretty cool. All right, so that is the brick for Playtime 30s. So, once again, we're doing this like 30s era. If you are interested, the whole brick, 30 pieces, 102. But this is enough to do a really adorable, like, oh, let's see, you want to do a double wedding ring. This is plenty to do that with, and I'm talking like big size. You can do a decent double wedding ring with this. You can do Dresden plates out of this. This is enough to do like a very, very decent sized quilt. So if you go also to Cottage Mama, okay, Cottage Mama has patterns that are retro inspired just for this set. So again, if you're like, I love it, but I need to have an idea for it, you know, any retro quilt um would look stunning with these colors, okay? Because you have like the good sections. You have like the pinks, the greens, the blues, right? And so you have that like ready to go in that set. If that is too rich for your blood, we do have a stacker. We have a 5-inch charm pack, and it has the fabrics in it. So you got 42 pieces in here. So there's going to be a couple duplicates, but not too many. But yeah, you've got some options here. We do not have very many of the stackers. So I think we have 2 left of these and like 3 left of these, and that's it. Once again, these are those kinds of, buy-ins. Once we get them, and that's it. They're gone. And once they're gone, they're gone. Okay. We're not going to be able to get them again. That's just the nature of the business. Okay. So if you say, oh, well, I'll just wait and Cheryl order more, that's not how it works. These were ordered months ago. They printed these. They made to our orders across the country, and that's all they're going to have. So, we don't want you to forget about that. Okay. So when we show you stuff, you got to buy it because that's all there is. Now, outside of the 30s era, we still have a couple of these giant blocks of, is that the right way? Yeah, it is. K facet brights. Boy, talk about a big difference, right? I mean, these are like pow, and these are like, oh. Right? We have and we have pow. So once again, we also have these as 5-inch charm stacks. So they're all of our 5-inch charms. I think these ones are 16. The other ones are 15. And that's just because of the manufacturer. These are the latest. Oh, I know, Tracy. This is what gets me going, right? Like that is like that's a bright. I love it. I know I love it. I know you love it. These are the colors, right? And these are for people who are not afraid of color. I'm not afraid of color. We do have some yardage of a couple of these prints, and I'll just show you the one that's here on the bottom. We have this particular one in yardage. So this is called Papaver, which is a part of the what do you call it? Like the literal name or the name for poppy. The Latin name, whatever I'm trying to say. Anyway, you get what I'm trying to say. Anyway, we have this in yardage, and we have this in like 4 colorways. So if you want this particular fabric, you're going to want that in the other colorways. These are very bright. They really are. And I mean, you are getting your color on in here. Okay. So these also make fantastic quilts. I know a lot of people are like, "Oh my gosh, it's so everything. I don't know what to do with it." If you have a traditional quilt, yes, the scientific name. Thank you. Lord, I was trying. I was reaching there for that name. I could not figure it out. Yes, the scientific name for the plant poppy is papaver. And that's this particular print is called that because that's a beautiful oriental poppy. And so, anyway, we have that in yardage, and there's also that version is in here. We have this in the blue. We also have it in the orange base, and we have it in this in like a gray background base. Anyway, we have those in stock. We are currently still offering our CAFE facet sale. So these bundles are on sale right now on our website. And they're automatically, the discount is taken at the checkout. Yes, this is a very common, I guess, comment that I hear a lot, Mary, is that the 80s vibrant and the 2024 style, it's like people call it Lisa Frank for adults. Okay? So like if you were a Lisa Frank kid in the 80s and you had a lot of like all the Lisa Frank stickers and Trapper Keepers and things like that, and you remember all these super vibrant colors, it's like we get that fix of Lisa Frank in our fabrics with these K facets. So these, all the K facet fabrics are on sale on our website and in store. The discount's automatically taken at the register or at checkout. Okay, so when you go online, you will look for these in the bundles section, and then you can find the yardage in the yardage. And we do have still some of the 5-inch charms. Of course, this is not it, in these colorways as well. So you can get it in the hot colorway and the cool colorway. And we have a 5-inch stacker that go with each of those. Okay. So that, I mean, like, that's a lot of new stuff. Okay. So we've gotten quite a number of new things on that front. And I know I keep showing these, but they're just too good. They're too good. And I mean, who doesn't love those colors, right? Like, look at that. Look at those purples. Ah, they're so good. They're so good. Okay. Anyway, we also got in the soft book panel. This is in the panels section. Skipper Snow Day. I did sew up the sample so that you can see it. Makes a really super cool, fun thing to have on hand if you have a baby to sew for. This is that kind of thing, that kind of project that you're like, uh-oh, I need to make something for somebody. What am I going to make? Pull out this panel, add some batting. You are good to go. It just is just this panel and a little bit of batting. I think it takes a yard of batting. Super quick. Skipper Snow Day. And it's all this really adorable storybook about Skipper the squirrel. So when I got these in, Charlie opened it up and he's like, "What did you do?" He's like, "What did you get?" And I'm like, "I love them. They're so cute. And the story's adorable too." Okay? Cuz like, look, Skipper goes to the library. Okay? It's adorable. Anyway, in case you thought I had lost all of my marbles. Okay. Right. Let's talk about this for a hot second, because I don't think we have really talked about this yet. So a few weeks ago, days ago, I don't even know when I went, and it wasn't that long ago, but I and I ended up in a in a field in Illinois, and it was a cotton field. And you're probably like, "What? A cotton field?" Yes, a cotton field. Um, that squirrel is adorable. I'm sorry. He's really cute. Um, all right, so I'm gonna pull up this picture and I'm gonna show it to you. And because so 2 years ago, Charlie and I are driving down a very like back road of back roads. And I look over and I said, "I think that's a cotton farm." And he goes, "Cotton does not grow in Illinois." And I'm like, "But that, I mean, that looks like cotton." And he's like, "I don't think it's cotton." And at this point we have now further driven past said cotton field. And this was 2 years ago. And for 2 years, we have been driving the back roads of the area here trying to find this cotton field. And I started to think that I had made it up, that it wasn't real. Oh no, it was real. And we found it. So I was driving by and I'm like, "Oh my gosh, it's the cotton." And he's like, "I don't think it's cotton. It looks like flowers." And I'm like, "Silly, that's what cotton would look like." So so we pull over and sure enough, it's cotton. And I am so excited that I was not crazy and had made up. Well, I guess it would have been a collective, like one of those shared collective weird things. And yeah, it was cotton. And so yeah, so we found it and I pulled over and I took a picture to prove that it was there. Of course, but we were both right. Like we were both like, I think that's cotton. But then we had driven past it. We had no idea where we were. I drove to Mustang, Oklahoma last week via Illinois, and there were cotton fields along the interstate. Yes, yes, it's crazy. Cotton. Okay, so here's the cotton. Here's me in the cotton field. Okay, but this got me thinking about cotton and, how does cotton get to become like what we know it as in our lives, right? We use cotton all the time. It's in our fabric and it's in our thread. And so I wanted to show you because we were able to talk to someone who has a farm, and they were able to get me this sample here. Okay. And what's cool is this is the cotton ball and or boll, BOLL is how it is referred to. And like this is essentially the seed pod of the cotton plant. And the seed pod like is really big on the plant. Like it's huge. And then it like pops open and you are left with these puffs. Now the this came from the farm, and this has been like rained on. It has been there were rain, there was all kinds of weather. Okay, so this has got like this. Boll I don't have any boll weevils, weasels. I don't have any weasels either. Um, this has been in a, plastic bag for a couple of days, okay? So it's not or a couple of weeks, I should say. It's not, like, new, okay? Um, and when I received it, they explained to me that these were, um these are all how it pops open. So this is like from the tip of the like here you can see the exploded seed pod inside here. Um and what you can't tell is there are like inside these fluffs, there are very sharp seeds in there. Um Joe, how are you doing? How was your show? I think you are in Cincinnati, right? Um Hope you're doing well. Um, so there are seeds in here, okay? And and so they sent me this piece of of cotton and I wanted to show you. I had started pulling on one to show you the seeds that are in here, okay? So, oh, you are in Cincinnati. Good to know. Excellent. Okay. All right. So I'm going to close all my extra stuff here so that we can look at this camera really good. So inside all of this fluff are going to be these seeds, and these things are sharp. Um they're like and they are really hard to separate from the actual cotton. What do they call the cotton, the staple of the cotton, okay, the fluff. But look at this little seed here. I mean, and it's taken me like, I mean, I'm trying to work it out of this, okay? And you can see like the sharp little seed here. Yeah, Mary, this does mean I will be able to grow my own. Okay, so that is the seed of the cotton plant. Yeah, I'm gonna grow it. I am keeping it. I will see if I can try to grow it. Um, but it's got like this one little tip on it and it's sharp. Um, and so, you know, if you think about our not too recent past here in American history, when we had people, we had slaves and people that would pick cotton, and this was, look, I got little princess hands, okay, as my husband likes to say. um and so I don't have the ability to really, I'm being very uh patient with this. This was not how it was. It's got like sharp little barbs. The plant itself has thorns. Yeah, Charlotte, it does. Um, it is not a typical plant. It's not a friendly plant to work with. Okay, all of this is super sharp. Okay, it's like really it's kind of a dangerous looking plant. Okay, but as you can see here in this one piece of the bowl, I'm going to try to pull just this one whole section out. Okay. So this is the the plant. So this is the staple, okay? And this is what, when you are talking about Egyptian cotton or long staple cotton, what you want for staples of cotton is this is what they're talking about, is these strands. And you want long strands on your cotton so that your thread has more stability, okay? So if you were spinning this, you would have to clean it and comb it, so that all of these pieces, all these fibers were going in the same direction. And first, before you can do any of that, you have to get all these seeds out of it. Now, there's at least two more in here that I can feel. One, two, three, four. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven seeds just in this piece still. And that's before you can even use this piece of the cotton ball. Okay. And so, like, when you're looking at these, right? Um, there's usable cotton on here. I don't know how much you can spin per bowl. I do want to figure that out. I mean, that's part of why, you know me. I'm a big I love any kind of history of this kind of stuff. Like, I feel like really like this stuff gets me going. I love this. This is really cool. I I am absolutely understanding now how awful it would be to have this for a job. Those plants were close to the ground. It would not be a fun job. No. Like, they were at my knee in that picture. And so you're talking about bending over and picking all of that. That's sounds horrible. Now, I will say that nowadays this is very much a machine done process. Okay, so the cotton gin is what separates all of these uh, seeds from the plant. Okay, and you can see they're actually really attached to these seeds really, really well. I'm actually really having to pick at it to get it to come off of the seed. I would assume that in a natural environment, before we had domesticated this to death, which I'm sure that the plant has been domesticated to this level, but this fluff would have helped carry the seed off to another place so that the plant could reproduce. Now it just sits in this fluff and becomes injurious to me while I am pulling out all of this, picking all of this gunk off of the plant. And so here's another seed. And so you can see that I'm like trying to, it's like it does not want to come off. But the other thing you don't want to do is you don't want to break the long strands of the cotton uh thread, the material. Okay, you don't want to bring that, you don't want to break that. So you kind of have to go in. And I mean, the cotton gin is an amazing uh device because it does all this now for you. But this was all done by hand. So when you look at a quilt from the 1800s, just know somebody had to do all of this. Okay, so here's like, this is just out of one section. Okay, this one fluff that we pulled out of here, and there are five fluffs on this, and there's still four more seeds in this section. So yeah, danger plant. And what I'm trying not to do is to break apart or rip apart these these sections. I want to keep the fluff, or the length of the staple of the cotton. I want to keep that as long as possible. So you don't really want to just rip through here and start pulling at it. You want to keep it somewhat so that you're not tearing all of this uh the long staples, right? You want to keep these lengths as long as possible. And um you know, you can't do that if you're just like trying to tear through here to pick it out. So, there are short and long staple cottons, and they're grown for lots of different purposes. Um, Obviously, these plants are hardy, and like treated for and as that that there are pests, as Charlotte mentioned, the boll weevil is the most common. I don't even have them all out yet. There's See, and then you get these little like fluffs of the plant material, like the leftover from the leaf, or just debris from the ground that gets on it, and it just it gets dirty, and it's been rained on. So it's just kind of cool. But look at that little like pointy that pointy piece there. It is not it's it is not a friendly plant. So as I'm pulling these out, and then what I will do is I will look to card this, as they call it. See, I'm just tearing at it. I don't really want to do that. I want to get it that, and it is attached. Like these fluffs are attached to this seed. That's why this is like so frustrating, is because like that seed, you can see there's just it's all attached to it. So that is a cleaned piece of cotton, and now I would be able to take this and get all the fibers laying in the same direction, very much like you do with wool. And you card the material so that it all lays in one direction. And so we can do that on the next episode next week, and we'll show you more of that process, and then how to get some of this debris out, and then we're going to talk about how you would need to spin it in order to turn it into a thread that can either be woven or sewn with. Okay, so I think that's going to be a lot of fun. I know I'm learning an awful lot. Man, just in that one piece, there were 8 seeds. Like, that's crazy. And then there's like a whole field of these. And um it's just cool. It's just really it's neat to think about. It's neat to experiment with. I am going to get my microscope out. Hopefully, I will be able to hook that up to the computer next week. I have a digital microscope, so we're going to look at the fibers under the microscope. That'll be a lot of fun. So you're going to want to come back next week, and we will check that out. I know. I'm like a nerd for this stuff. I was talking to somebody in the shop about like all of our vintage irons and all the vintage irons on the shelf, and like how irons came about, and I'm like, and they were just like, "What? How do you know all this stuff?" And I'm like, "It's my job. It's my job to know this stuff. It's my job to nerd out about cotton and to understand what makes good cotton and what makes good cotton for this and all the things that we make out of cotton." So I like being a nerd, and I hope you will nerd out with me next week, my friends. Once again, I hope you get some sewing done this weekend. Please, by all means, take care of yourselves. If you saw something on today's show, please do not hesitate. Hurry and get it from our website. It will not last long. Be sure to check that out. And I hope you get some sewing done. Take care of yourselves. I will see all of you next week. Take care. Bye-bye.